In recent years, there has been a growing controversial debate about vaccinating children. Although a majority of people across the United States and even the world vaccinate their children, there's a minority group that refuses to vaccinate for religious reasons and personal or philosophical reasons. This is a growing issue. As more people refuse to vaccinate, the chances of eradicated diseases making a comeback increases. In fact, diseases such as the measles, mumps, among other dangerous diseases, have already made their comeback. For this reason, it is crucial to vaccinate your children to prevent and decrease the possibility of spreading such horrible diseases to loved ones and other citizens. You may be wondering, why don't people vaccinate their children? Vaccines seem logical and necessary for our personal health, but many people who do not vaccinate think just the opposite of that. Among these reasons, religious exemptions is among the most common and allowed. Only 3 states out of the 50 states in the United States do not recognize religious exemptions. This includes California, Mississippi, and West Virginia. Philosophical reasons, however, are only recognized in a handful of states. Other reasons that people refuse to vaccinate include the idea that vaccines are harmful and may cause the child to develop autism. Although mostly harmless, vaccines can have minor side effects including tenderness, redness, and swelling, are all normal side effects vaccines can have on a person. Some parents delay or refuse to give their children vaccines because they believe that the amount of vaccines their child is receiving can overwhelm their immune system. Children today receive almost double the amount of shots as people did before and have little to no effect on their immune system's well-being. Another reason is parents are afraid that ingredients in the vaccines are toxic and bad for their children, but vaccines are mostly water-based, with antigens and some other ingredients to balance out the solution. After a study was published in 1998 by Dr. Andrew Wakefield, many people became concerned that vaccines could cause their children to develop autism. It was later discovered that Dr. Wakefield had altered the medical histories of all 12 patients whose cases formed the basis of the 1998 study. Dr. Wakefield's study damaged people's trust in doctors and vaccines alike, despite the mounting scientific evidence to the contrary. However, many people continue to believe the myth and refuse to vaccinate for that very reason. A Danish study with a substantial amount of compelling evidence debunked the rumors. The study was persuasive for several reasons, including that Denmark's medical system has among one of the most complete medical records of any country. With an increasing amount of people not vaccinating their children, there has been a resurgence of many diseases that were previously deemed extinct. 18 years ago, the CDC, also known as the Centers for Disease Control, announced that the United States had eradicated the measles. In 2019 alone, there has already been over 700 cases reported to the CDC that have been confirmed in 22 different states. The mumps have also made a shocking return in the United States. Although in a majority of the world, 99% plus of the population has been vaccinated, there are still places that have less than 89% and even some places with as low as 30% of their population vaccinated. Vaccines are key in the interest of public and personal health. Vaccinating your children can protect your child from deadly and disabling diseases that once killed and injured thousands of people. These diseases are now preventable with effective vaccines. Without vaccines, there would be more than 2 to 3 million children dying every year. Since the discovery of vaccines by the English physician Edward Jenner, immunization can be credited with saving approximately 9 million lives a year worldwide. Not only can vaccines prevent your children from picking up diseases and spreading them to others, by vaccinating your children, you can protect and decrease the likelihood of future generations contracting the disease and help prevent future outbreaks. If your child is exposed to a disease and it exposes other unvaccinated people, it could cause an outbreak. Immunity can protect us from diseases. It's our body's way of preventing sickness. My plan is simple. I nor anyone else can make people give their children vaccines, but I encourage those who have concerns about vaccines to ask as many questions as they need to understand vaccines and decrease their concerns. When attending a family against vaccinations, doctors should give their patients pamphlets on the pros of vaccines and the effectiveness of them, and why they shouldn't be concerned. If this is not enough, doctors may recommend a specialist or offer an informational seminar for those who are concerned and answer questions at the end. By adopting this plan, anti-vaxxers may feel more comfortable with the idea of vaccinating their children, and change their beliefs on vaccines. Benefits to this multi-step plan could increase immunization rates, protecting both you and citizens around you. If this plan is not put into action, immunization rates may stay the same or decrease even more, putting your children and others at risk of contracting unwanted diseases. There are many misconceptions about vaccines that can be answered through a few simple questions to your medical physician and research. If you still have concerns, reach out to your doctor and ask questions. Ask for pamphlets with information. If this isn't enough to change your mind, ask to be referred to a specialist or ask if there are any informational seminars. Although vaccines can have some minor side effects, the outcome is worth it and extremely beneficial to not only you, but to your children and others around you as well. Vaccinating your children can be viewed as a civic responsibility for not only your children's health, but for the public's health too. You can make a difference with one vaccine at a time.